In today's video, I'm going to be going over everything you need to know about analyzing Keepa charts, and I'm going to break down the whole entire software from everything that it can do to everything that I personally use it for. So if you already know how to use Keepa and you just want to see how I use Keepa, there is timestamps below this video for you to check that out. I think you'll take a lot of value if you're already experienced, but if you are newer and you have no idea what this tool really does, then make sure you watch this whole entire thing through. Now, Keepa is going to be the backbone to your whole entire business as far as product analysis goes, to product sourcing goes. It literally can do everything. The only thing that it lacks is a profit calculator. Before you make any decisions on purchasing products, you need to first check out the Keepa chart, and I'm going to break down exactly what we need to look for in today's video. So as we dive into my screen here, we're going to take a look at this product today here, and this is what we're going to pretty much use as our base reference for going through Keepa. Now, it's important to know what these all mean here before I dive any further. So we're going to go over all these different tabs here, and then again, like I said, towards the middle half of this video, we're going to go over things that I specifically use it for myself. Now, when it comes to the price history, the cool thing about Keepa here is we can literally customize pretty much every single function here. So if I want to turn on the sales rank here, I can do that. I'm not going to because I have it in the middle here. I can turn on the used offers, which does not affect me at all. We can turn on the new FBA sellers, their price points. Again, I personally don't use it. The main things that I'm using here in the front is the buy box. I want to see if Amazon's on here. And then also I have this new function, which honestly, you really don't need either. This here is plenty. Okay, the pink line is the buy box. This is essentially what the price is at that exact moment in time on that product. So as you hover over, you see it constantly changing. That's because there's a new person in the buy box getting sales. Pretty much what we want to notice with this is, okay, where is this at during this period? How is it impacted by the offer count? Pretty much we were looking for correlations when we were reading these Keepa charts here. And the most important thing of this top column here is that this is just the price. Okay, and you might be wondering, what are these little peaks here? Well, these are little spikes in price where someone was able to get a sale or buy box at a higher point because everyone else may have went back ordered there for that period, or they have a really good repricer setup that's able to do that for them. Okay, it's important that you also use a repricer when you're selling on Amazon because you will get sales at higher prices, just like these sellers are right here. Now, another thing that you should also keep note here is you can actually hover over different time frames. So for example, you could go to the all of the product to see more things. Right here is an example of Amazon being on the listing back in 2015, and then now they're not there, right? They came on here for a little bit. But yeah, you can pretty much navigate this however you want. You can do all, year, 3 months, month, and you can also zoom. So if you hold the left of your mouse and you drag and you drop, it zooms in. If you double press the left side of the mouse, it'll zoom back out to that time frame you have set. Now the middle column here is going to be the sales rank and the monthly sold. Pretty much means the exact same thing. The sales rank just dictates around how many times it sells a month. Honestly, for a new seller that's trying to learn Keepa, if you're watching this far, just pay attention to the monthly sold right here. That is the most important thing, is this yellow line. This is a direct number from Amazon themselves. So it is very accurate, but sometimes this won't be there because the listing sells a bit slower and you want to just verify that there's sales happening, right? So this is holding a consistent about 20,000 sales rank in the pet supplies area, which means it's selling. Whereas if you would have seen this sales rank go like a very long period of time without dropping, and then it drops randomly, that drop there is usually going to indicate a sale. You will only see this on listings that are moving very slow though. So you probably are avoiding those anyways when you're sourcing. The bottom here is also going to be equally as important as the price, if not more important. Okay, this purple-ish line here is going to be the new offer count, which pretty much is just how many sellers are on the listing. So we see right here for the last year that it got up to about 25 at one point, then it went down to 6. Then it went back up, then it went back down. So it's constantly fluctuating. Okay, this is important because when you are reading Keepa charts, you need to piece these things together to kind of anticipate what's going to happen next for the product that you're carrying. Now, this product here, we can clearly see that when the offer count went down, you kind of see how these peaks started to happen, right? We went from about 27-ish, maybe 34, and now we're starting to get peaks up at like 34 right here, even higher, right? So from 31, now around $35-ish, we're getting these peaks because people are going back ordered, right? All this means is people are going out of stock and it's going to the next person in buy box, and that person might be priced higher. So us as buyers, as sellers, we pretty much always want to be pricing our products higher. Our repricers do that for us. But if we can look at a Keepa chart and first determine that the offers are going down, that's going to be a good indicator that we're going to be able to sell this product at a higher price. And that's pretty much going to be clear as day on any Keepa chart that you look at. Any product you pull up, you should see that clear correlation happening there. Now, this other thing I have here is just the rating count, how many ratings the product's getting. If you look at the last month here, this went from 250 ratings. Now we're at 252, so we got about 2 ratings. Again, not super important, but it can be used as an indicator of sales. So if you don't have any other data to tell you how many times it sells a month, you can always check that out right there as well. Now, that's pretty much the charts. Okay, hopefully that is in-depth enough. We'll talk a bit more about it towards the end section of how I actually use it myself. Now, let's go to the track product feature right here. Okay, this is a very cool feature. We can pretty much come in here and set alerts for these products. So if you have a quick look, if you are looking at a product and you essentially think that it's priced too low today, but you don't want to forget about it necessarily, you can set alerts here on this product so it notifies you in the future when it hits that price point. Okay, I have a very in-depth video on that. I will link it below this video that goes over exactly how I set up my trackers for these products to help build a bigger catalog. So you should definitely check that out if you have not seen that. But there's also a pro section here where you can essentially adjust other things. If you want to track the offer count, you can do so right here. If you want to track anything else, you can. Again, I don't really use it much outside of just tracking the price point or the offer count and kind of managing my leads like that. So once you set that tracker, you press start tracking, and then you will see that it notifies the email you have on file. And then whenever you get that email or that tracked alert, it'll go to your email and it'll look something like this. Good news, the offer count has hit this certain number. Then you can go ahead and press show on Amazon. Again, this will just depend on how you set it up for yourself. But this is what the email will look like from Keepa themselves. Now, the data tab is very important. I will talk about this a little bit more, but there's also 3 different things, actually 4 different things in here. We don't ever look at the buy box used. We don't care about that. Product details, I also never really look at this, but if you want to get more details of the products, you can. One big mistake a lot of people make is they just analyze it like crazy to a point where it's just overkill. Okay, I don't ever look at this. I literally never look at this column or this page at all. I don't think it's needed. I think the charts tell you enough, but it's there if you want to look at the additional data pieces if you want to. Offers tab is an important tab, and I will share how I use this. But essentially, the offers tab here is going to be all the different sellers in the listing, and it gives you pretty much every piece of data you need about that seller. And you can actually even configure more columns in here if you wanted to. But essentially, this gives you, number one, their price. So you can actually see how these people price. Do they change their price? Do they have a stable price? You can kind of stock your competition right there. You can also see their stock counts. So how many do they have? How fast they sell out, right? So right here, we can see how fast they're moving. Same with this seller. Now, this isn't always super accurate because people can actually hide their stock. So don't rely fully on this. But again, this is great if you need an additional piece of proof that products are selling through. You also have their names right over here. You're going to have their IDs. And then also here we have their rating history. So again, like typically this is good information because if they have very bad ratings, I usually infer that they do a lot of FBM. Might not be a person I want to include in a search or stock. If they have high rating percentage, that's usually a good sign that they do a lot of FBA. We have their review count here as well, how big that seller is. I can see if they are doing Prime or not with this check mark. And another really cool feature here is I can see when they came on the listing and when they got off the listing. Okay, when they were last seen. So pretty much I can look at this here. I can see that, okay, this person here that has 6,000 reviews has been selling this for nearly 3 years. So this person is selling this like crazy. Okay, they're probably doing this wholesale. So it might not be the person you want to stock potentially or do with whatever, right? This offers tab is very important for any established seller. You need to know your competitors and how they maneuver and if it's safe or not to get on listings. And this again gives you all the data points that you need. Buy box statistics is also important. You can pretty much just see how the buy box rotates based on the period. So we have the whole entire history, right? Here's that person that's been on here for 3 months. They have 11% of the history buy box on this product. We can check the last year. Again, same thing. 180, 90, 30. Honestly, the most important thing here on these listings is if you want to compete, just make sure that no one has like 100% or 80% of the buy box. Make sure it's other people are getting rotation. If you look at a listing and you see people with like very low reviews getting some rotation, that's a very good sign that you can also get rotation on that listing as well. Okay, so that's pretty much what I use that for. Settings here, you guys can take a look. These are the settings I have set. Honestly, I've never really touched this. This just stays as is. I haven't really messed with it at all. If anything, maybe you can adjust the tracker there to be pro so you can actually see more data when you pull it up here. So you see everything. But again, That is pretty much what I use Keepa for, or at least the whole overview of Keepa. So now that you have a general understanding of what these charts actually mean and how you can use Keepa, I want to dig into how I personally use Keepa myself to make better decisions and give you like a very good overview masterclass of how these Keepa charts actually work. So one of the biggest things I use Keepa for is determining risk and arbitrage ability. Okay, I don't even know if that's a real word, but what I mean by arbitrage ability is this a listing that has sellers on and off the listing? This is usually a really good sign that you are actually looking at potential opportunity and not just a random wholesale or brand direct or private label lead that you're going to waste time on. And the easiest way to spot that is if you see the offer count going up and down consistently. That's a clear indicator that this is obviously being resold by a lot of different people, and this gives us opportunity right here. Now, when it comes to risk analysis, I'm typically looking at the last year and I am seeing where is the lowest point of this price's history. And typically that's going to happen when the offer count goes up. So it's right around here, right? I'm going to zoom into this time frame and I want to see what is like a consistent low point here. Okay, seems like it's about $30 maybe at the lowest point. So depending on my buy cost, I need to make sure that at the very worst case scenario on this product's history, I am never at a loss. Okay, so obviously to analyze a product, you have to kind of understand and have a buy cost first. Otherwise, you can't really analyze it properly. But that's what we're going to use Keepa here for, like this. So this product in particular, if I can find this for about $15.52 from an online retailer, it's selling for $39.83 today. Obviously, it's very profitable. And it's profitable because the offer count is so low. So we're getting these peaks here at these high points, right? If we look at the sellers here, 38.40, everyone else is FBM. I don't care about these people. We can sell this at least at $40. And you can actually see a clear correlation here between being priced at FBA and FBM. This is why I don't think you should ever FBM when it's not Q4, unless it's like a very big product. On most listings, you can always FBA and just price ridiculously higher than this and still get buy box rotation, just like this person is. So if I'm going to sell this, I'm going to anticipate to move it at these high points, but I still need to make sure that in case the offer count turns and it goes back up, I can at least get out of here with my money back. So again, if this thing does fall to about $30, $31, let's say 31, are we going to at least break even? And we are. So this passes that risk to reward analysis essentially, right? This is in my favor to make me money. There's virtually no risk I lose money here. So I'd be foolish to not at least place a test order here on this listing here. Probably going to look like about 20 units because competition is low. Spend about $300 here, easily move through this, and we're going to make some money here and add it to our catalog ecosystem, which by the way, I have a really good video coming out for you guys soon here on how you can manage your catalog ecosystem to the max. This tool is going to absolutely change the game when it comes to the sustainable arbitrage model. I'm so excited to share with you guys. Now, I also use Keepa to spot very quick IP complaints. And an IP complaint is very easy to spot. If you look at a product right here and you notice that the offer count just falls, so from 28 down to 17 instantly without any little drop off, you zoom in as much as you want here, it's just a straight drop off. That is a clear indicator of an IP complaint and something that I would avoid, especially if it's been within the last year, kind of like it did right here. Okay, now nowadays this can mean a lot more than just an IP complaint. It could be like a regate, could be a lot of different things. Honestly, it's not just clear-cut IP complaint, but I'm usually just passing on it if there's ever any weird fluctuation in the offers like that. I just don't think it's ever worth the risk. And there's just way more better products out there to buy than potentially taking the risk there. Now, I mentioned I like the offers tab a lot. Okay, this is a very good way to dig into products. Now, number one, we can use this to verify sales, like I mentioned, but I can also verify better sellers to search. And I did a video on this last week, actually, where we look at the people that have been on these listings for the longest period of time. And those essentially would be better people if you are going to reverse source to use and use Sellerim to reverse source off of. Okay, that's one really cool thing. What I probably wouldn't want to do, or actually for this listing in particular, actually, it might be a good idea to stock this person because they came on the listing 9 days ago. They came on this listing before while it's low. So they're buying this item when it's priced high, making more money. That would be potentially a good seller to identify and then stock, because they're on this listing at a low point in offers. That means that they're smarter than most people. They're not followers. They're not buying things that are spiking up in offers. They could be a pretty decent seller to go in there and dig a little bit deeper into them and potentially find winning products from, versus just picking some random person on a Spring Valley listing. That's one really cool, good feature about this offers tab, is just finding better people to stock. Another good thing to look at here, actually, for that same exact feature is the buy box rotation in the last 30 days, right? So like this person here, has 3 reviews, but they're getting a good amount of buy box, which means they're actively pricing their stuff competitively, which means they also could be a pretty decent seller to stock, right? Like a lot of this goes back to finding new leads. And I like to use the offers tab in here to determine where I need to be looking and to give me a better, I guess, area to look into to find more listings for my store. The biggest indicators here on these charts, if you can take anything away from this video, like the most important thing on these products here is not the monthly sold or how fast it's selling, right? I'm honestly don't really care how fast products are selling. I just want to make sure I can make money on the products that I'm purchasing. I just need to make sure products are selling through. So I want to see sellers moving on and off the listing. That's the best indicator. And ideally, we are capitalizing on these leads. If you look at this product right here, it's a good example of this. We're looking for these products that are selling at these high points. At 30%, we break even. But if we look at this listing in the last year, there's this period here, there's this period here, and then there's this period here right now, ever since December, it's been about 2 months, where this item is very, very profitable. So that's always happening when the offers are going down, right? So that's the biggest takeaway. You want to be finding leads and analyzing leads as the offers are falling. And if we're doing that, we're going to put ourselves in a situation to make way more money on these listings, really improve our margin, and not really have to worry too much about price tanking. This is literally the biggest takeaway. Like if you could take anything away from the Keepa and analysis, there's a lot of things you can learn. And I shared a lot in this video. And there's literally more things to dig into too. There's just more that would even be enough for a video. But the biggest thing I look for, that we look for, my VA looks for, students of mine look for, is we want low competition listings because this is what's going to set us up to have high profit margins. Guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you have any additional questions on Keepa, if you have a product you want me to take a look at, just DM me on my Instagram. It's linked down below here. I can check it out for you. I can analyze it, give you my thoughts. If you have any other questions of the Amazon business model or you're running into any other issues, again, DM me your issue on Instagram. I probably have a video that I can send over to you. And if you're new here, if you haven't seen many of my videos, I post these videos every week. I dive in depth on everything. The sustainable arbitrage model is built in a way where we just have so many products to buy because of our sourcing methods. And we always cycle through leads throughout the year to have high profit margins, essentially. So if you guys are looking for any personalized one-to-one support, if you want me to source with you, implement the sustainable systems with you, completely one-to-one, there's a link down below this video. Feel free to book in a quick call. Can run you through what that looks like. And again, if you guys have any other questions, if you're not ready for that, just DM me over on Instagram and I can try and help out as much as possible. Keepa is great and all, and it has more features such as managing replens. So I think you would enjoy this video right here because I'm going to break down how I actually set my tracked alerts in Keepa. And if you haven't already done so, make sure you follow the page for more weekly videos just like this.